Well. If you look above me here, you'll see there on 410, it says, look out for the show classics. Now, what could that mean? Does it mean a delicious, nutritious program for us to grind? Well, let's see, boys and girls. Let's go over to programs. The fuck? We're about a month into MLB The Show, and this is all we got. This has been basically the only other program besides Breakout, and then these 2 weekly things, which we're going to get another one on Thursday, I believe, or Friday. But what was that content that was above my head here? Well, let's take a gander, because you know what it was, boys and girls? If you guessed a 40K pack, you'd be right. But let's start off with the simple stuff here. You get a free Jackson Holiday because, you know, he got called up and is getting a nice little boosty boost. So with the boost, he does get the Byron boost. So keep that one in mind. So he will be having 100 and 107 against right. Against left, he will have 93 and 95 respectively. Vision will be 72. Discipline will be 86. Clutch will be 98. If I did all the math right. On the fielding side, 80, 82, 77, and 80. But again, he's going to get the Byron boost, so that'll be even higher. So he should have a diamond under him because it'll be plus 15, 95. Yeah, so he'll be a diamond at short or second. Pretty good. Also, the other free card today was good old Jazz Chisholm. So you can play him at second. You can play Jackson Holiday at short or flip him. I would probably leave him Jazz at second, but nevertheless. But let's talk about this really quick, because by golly gee willikers, the best hitting card in the game has arrived. And who is that? That is Nicholas Castellanos. And if you're looking just to pick him up, he's 160K. And yeah, 97, 104. 125, 112. Vision 72. Clutch of 99. Can he field? Not really. But he's going to have a giant hard noodle, if you feel me, underneath there. Best hitter in the game by far. And how do they follow that up? With the best pitcher in the game. My PTSD has returned with Edward Cabrera, who again is less somehow than Nicholas Castellanos, which is baffling to me. 145K is this card if you can't pull him. And by the way, he has outlier and pitcher outlier. Get ready to cry in Hall of Fame. Because, yeah. So he's there, and yeah, he's pretty dang good. K per 9's at 98. His hit per 9's at 102. Yeah, we know what this card's going to do. Bring back memories and pain. Yep, that's what he's here for. That's the rare round, by the way. There's 3 tiers here. 1 and 10 for the 95 rare round, and 1 and 4 for the mid round, which we're going to get to right now, and then the base round. Now, here's the nice thing, and we're going to kind of get into, we'll get to that in a second here. The mid round is good old Taylor Trammell from 2020. 103, 82, 95, 70, clutch at 98. He's going to have good defense if you like him. I mean, some people did. He's a little expensive, about 40K, so about the cost of the pack. So you'll make your stubs there, but again, don't buy packs. But that's where we are with him there. The second one is if you're a Braves fan, Mike Soroka. God rest his soul. Sinker, slider, four-seam, circle change cutter, pretty good. 80K per 9, 90 hit per 9, stamina 96. Okay, and he's running about 33K, so less than the pack. No quirks on him. Now, this is where if you're a smart value shopper, you can do some things here. Miguel Andujar here. Look at his numbers: 96, 104, 174. Can play third only or DH. Can't really field for jack diddly squat, but that's not what we're talking about here. Take a look at that. That is 97 on the market right now, or 8,000. I'm not saying this guy's good. I am not, but I'm saying if you need a right-handed guy with some pop, not the worst thing to spend eight, nine stubs on. Similarly here, you got Kyle Lewis, who does hit the Byron boost, who might be a nice little budget bat if you need another outfielder. He's going to have good enough defense out there with Byron helping him out. You might not want to put him in center, but hey, he'll be decent enough with his 95, 89, 70, 105. Clutch is 75. He's decent enough, and plus he's gonna get the Byron boost, so plus 15 to fielding, plus 10 speed, or plus 15 speed or whatever. Again, not a bad card. And again, 9,000 buy now, 8,000 to put a buy order in. Again, this isn't bad. This pack is absolutely horrendous, but I'm just gonna keep it a $150 with you. Picking up him or Miguel and Gujar for combined what? Between 18 and 16K? There are worse things to do. Now, I know we're about to enter kind of like the first real power creep here, and they might not be worth jack diddly, but I'm just going to throw it out there. If you're kind of like, yeah, maybe just in case, it might not be the worst thing because they are so gosh darn cheap. Would I buy this pack? No. I think it's trash. But again, they're putting... Oh, yeah, and I forgot about Logan Webb. My bad. Logan Webb's here, too. He's got 75K per 986, and again, cheap. So, again, if you're kind of looking for stuff, this might be the way to do it. Again, I'm not here to tell you how to spend your stubs. I'm just saying there are smarter ways to do this, and this might not be the worst way to do it, especially in terms of pitching, because there's not a whole lot of pitching. But again, they're fairly cheap, and they're probably going to stay cheap. But keep something in mind that a lot of these cards are going to be by Friday. Just saying. And we can show some of that later on. But there is also a new headliner pack. Do I necessarily care? Not really. This card really doesn't do anything for me. Jefferson Cuero, 84, 86, 87, 78. Pretty balanced. Clutch is 79. He can play defense, but realistically, I don't think this card is going to do much. It doesn't move me a whole lot. He's going for 34K stubs. Again, he doesn't do a whole lot for me. If you get this pack, I don't even know if this is a gold or better 1 in 3 chance to pull him. I mean, it's okay. Weirdly, I keep thinking about this pack at 1 in 4. I mean, I guess hypothetically, this might be your best bet, but don't even buy it. By the way, I want to mention this because I didn't know you could do this. If you go into programs here, you go into multiplayer, go into ranked. In the ranked program, or is it here? Wait, in ranked, this is going away, but if you're close, I haven't played a whole lot of ranked, but if you're playing ranked and you get to division series here, I believe you get a vault season 1 vault pack. So if you're close to 700, you know what, knock it out, because this is probably one of the few free premium packs we can get in the game. So if you're close to it, by golly, get to it now. Now that we got all the stuff out of the way, I want to bring up something a little bit fascinating that I think MLB The Show has lost the plot. Similar, I heard an analogy earlier, and it was a good one. We're talking about fast food. How, for instance, McDonald's has kind of lost the plot. A lot of their stuff is very expensive. I know a lot of restaurants do this where it's like in-app stuff is a little bit cheaper, but MLB The Show has definitely lost the way here a little bit. And I'm going to show because, one, do I think that this is inherently a bad... These two being where they are, is that inherently bad? Not really. Are they the two best cards of the game? Yeah, by far. Unless we think ranked and BR will outdo them, because more than likely they'll be around the 95. Top end's probably going to be about 96, 97. It's probably where the top's going to be. So those cards might be 2% overalls higher. But I did want to show you real quick, like, what's coming out Friday, because they showed out the West so far. So here's the AL West. My fat head's in the way. But right now, you got second half Tim Salmon, All-Star Series, J.R. Richards, Mitch Garver, Daniel Vogelbach, and Pipeline Jacob Wilson. Now, they're all 93s, which means we've increased it by a numeral of 4. So meaning Season 3 is going to be 97s. Now, I'm going to put this out there now before anyone says anything. Do I think some of these cards will play above their stats? Yes. And again, we still have the Byron boost in play. Will some of these cards get Byron boost? Yes. Will they get Arenado boost? Yes. Now, the AOS is kind of a mixed bag. I think Mitch Garver is going to be really, really good. Jacob Wilson might be really, really good. Tim Salmon could... Honestly, if it's similar to kind of like how Season 1 was, I think all the cards were kind of played really, really okay. But that's the AOS. Here's the NOS for those of you who are intrigued here. They have two cards I'm very excited for. They got Drew Jones, Andrew Jones' son, for the Diamondbacks. Second half, Chili Davis is the Giants. Chase Dollander, who I'm excited for for the good old Rockies. Will Myers for the good old-fashioned Padres. And then standout 2013 Kenley Jensen, who is already discussing. Now, this brings up a fun, interesting thing. Last time around, if they had a reliever in there, I believe they're pitching if it was a reliever only, their pitching requirement was 3 innings. Now, this one, they have a starter. So, based on the last go around, there won't be the 3 inning. It's going to be 9 innings. But keep that in mind. So, if you're kind of thinking, well, who should I take first? Personally, I think the easiest way is to get pitchers and kind of go that way. If it's 3 innings, for the love of God, just Kenley Jensen, you can just ride him into the ground in Conquest. But if it's starters, play 9 inning games on or CPU on rookie. One, it'll help you kind of get boost that way. But again, just play how you want it. But again, I would say take a pitcher first. Plus Chase Dollander, I think, is going to be pretty darn good. Now, ultimately, is that a problem with cards being 95? No. The only problem is these cards can be gone in 60 days. Is 40k stubs worth it? No. For the love of God, don't buy packs. Ultimately, please don't buy packs. I think now they're making things a little bit more conceivable and stuff. But ultimately, what's the biggest problem? Well, there's no programs. You know how cool it would have been to have a Show Classic program to grind today and get me excited for some of this stuff? Yeah, I would. Did it effing fantastic. But here we are, once again, kind of just with our thumbs up our bums and left with that. Now, before we call this video a day, and I don't necessarily want to rant, but I do want to make this point because this is probably something that's worth noting. After today, everything else essentially is going to be quote-unquote free. Team Infinity Chapter 2, Ranked, BR, and Event, free cards in there. After that, Jackie Robinson. Considerably, let's say another 93 free Jackie Robinson program card. Maybe there's other stuff in there. Maybe there's a better Dobie. Who knows? That's going to be free. There's on the 19th, the first season awards and first Lightning player will be dropped. Also on the 15th, that means you're going to get another one too. So you're going to get another award series card for free. Now again, do I think this subtracts or gives them reason to not put in another small program? Absolutely the heck not. I think this is an absolute problem. My schedule is a little bit wonky, so I can play it a little bit. I can play the game a little bit more. Do I want it? Not. To be fair, not at all. But I also want to talk about this as well before we wrap up. This is the main series program. This is I work. My schedule is a little weird, but I'm a worker. I work 9 to 5, technically. This is where I'm at. Mind you, there have been no double XP drops as of yet, and I'm almost level 26. Guys who I know play a lot that I watch on stream are about, somewhere around here-ish. They're about double where I'm at. Now, they're playing like a crack addict. Most people, I kind of wonder where are they going to be if they're playing 2 to 3 hours a day, maybe grind a little bit more on the weekends. Let's say they're between here and Mike Napoli. If we were to double it, they're probably going to hit it. They'll be about 800. So maybe they'll just swing it under, right? But if you're kind of where I'm at, about sitting around here about 2 months to go, you're entering the part where it's like, I might not even get a boss. Because they put these guys at the end. And mind you, these guys are no sell. So they're not going to be on the market to get for maybe 20k steps. If you missed one, you can only get one. I don't know if the loop's going to be sellable, but let's say it's not. You might have a bunch of guys who might only end up about like Kyle Seager or just under, right? Because if they get about 600, let's say they're like me, they might get one, but you can get all three if you just play a little bit longer. You might not have. And again, we haven't had double EXP yet. We might have it this weekend. I'm a little surprised they haven't done it yet. But sort of based on what we're going, we have 58 days from recording this. So how many are we going to get in that time? We'll get one for the last week probably. But again, right now it's kind of looking wonky because this seems very much out of sight and all that stuff. And again, I talk about this a lot of time. There's a lot of fluff here. I mean, there's some good cards like Mike Napoli. Disgusting. But again, it feels like there might be a lot of people who are going to miss that, and that might be a little bit issue. We're going to look like this guy. We're going to look like this very, very sad Norwal. We don't get all our stuff. But again, it's still early. I hope and cross my fingers that eventually we're going to have more programs, not just the main series, not just this main program. That in here we go to when we go to programs, we go to other programs. We haven't had a real program really since this, where it was kind of worth the while. This one had a whole 5 cards in it. And since then, in terms of programs we've gotten, this one gave us, 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. This is another, I think, the same amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've had 9 cards since, and they come in a week. And nothing really else to show for it. Like I said, ultimately, we are kind of in a weird, funky position. But maybe that'll change. I don't know. I hope it does, because right now, SDS, MLB, we are headed down a very bad path that I don't think a lot of us want to follow on. I've seen multiple times on Twitter today talking about a pack buying boycott to send a message. I mean, I don't buy packs, but if you do, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you to spend your money, but I'm just gonna say this. I recorded one video. I'm not gonna post it because I think it was a little bit too negative. But I'm just gonna say this. I think we understand that things are expensive. It's not like how it was a couple years ago, where you go out to eat and it's gonna cost you a lot. It's gonna cost you more. I had Chipotle for lunch. It was $12. It was under $12, and I thought how great of a deal it was for a bowl and chips. No drink. I drink sparkling water like a good little fat boy. But the point I'm trying to make here is, like, there are people who spend, like, if you spend $20 for lunch, or you go and get coffee for you and you're like your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your mom, your dad, whatever. You get your coworker. You treat somebody to coffee. Depending on the coffee shop you're gonna go to, that could run you like $20. And let's say you're like, man, I really like Nick Castellanos, but I don't have enough stubs. And you're like, man, what can we do? Hey, let's go to the shop. Oh, we gotta see. To guarantee you buy him, it's $100. Or just if you're like, I just want to buy the pack, you're looking at $50. Mind you, this game costs people between $70 and $100 to play. And we're trying to get them to spend that kind of money to get a card that's not going to be usable in 2 months. MLB The Show, I'm going to be honest, you've lost the plot. I get it, it's a money-making business, but at some point, it needs to be stated that profiteering over gameplay will lose you. I've seen it happen before. Granted, I know it's not going to go anywhere. The live series content game has shifted to this, and I hate it. But I'm going to say, I think if this trend continues, I do think people eventually will stop playing, and then what? I'm not going to tell anyone how to spend their money, how to spend their good old stubs. But I'm just going to say, I think there is a way around it. I think there's ways to do this better. I like how there's 750 stubs for $3 for a one-time offer. I didn't know that was there. But again, I'm no money spent. I'm not going to spend $40 to get 48 or that $250 for 75. I'm at almost 50k stubs, and I got it from selling 2 cards that I bought, and I flipped them to get back to where we were. And again, you don't have a whole lot of ways to make stubs at this point in the game. Maybe we'll get a nice boost from the drop next week, or at the end of the week. I don't know. But like I said, sort of prior to this, MLB The Show has definitely lost the plot. On the bad side, good side, the 2 best cards in the game, you can have ultimately for 40k stubs. If you want to roll that dice, roll that dice. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your stubs, but I'm just trying to relay the facts out for you. Tomorrow, we should have a play video with some of the new cards we got today. So that'll be happy. And then Friday, we'll have a big, another card review. Yay. But again, short version, if you made it this far, leave a like, thumbs up, all that stuff. Let me know. Do you like this? What's your message, SDS? Let me know down below. I think we're headed down a bad spiral, and I think it's just going to get worse if we don't change it. So that being said, mine is Specs. Have yourself a good one. I'll see you guys all in the next one.